Happy Monday, everyone. And this month we're talking about how to be strong. And today's topic is power training. We are going to become stronger by throwing stuff around, or basically moving load. It's like doing weights, but doing it with momentum. Now, when you have a good technique in power training, you can often lift or absorb more than you can if you're doing it with control. And as such, it can carry a higher risk of injury. So I would really like you, if you want to start power training, I would really like you to seek out a appropriately qualified health professional first. And I would also like you to get your pelvic floor checked by an appropriately qualified physio who could do the internals. And with that said, this is why power training is amazing for becoming a strong woman. So, generalization warning, women are taught to be soft, timid, gentle, and power training teaches us to be forceful, fierce, and ferocious, but in a safe setting, right? You're in a gym, it's okay to be fierce and ferocious if you're not comfortable doing that out in the real world. Now, power training is either explosive, so you offload the weight, or absorptive, where you absorb the impact. And obviously, like when you're moving, you're both exploding and absorbing, like in order in different settings, okay? So the explosive phase is where you're throwing a medicine ball, or where you leap off the ground to do a box jump, right? Or as you speed up in a sprint. The absorptive phase is like the landing when you're running, the slowing down of a sprint, or the catching of the medicine ball. So the force is coming with you and you've got to catch it. On the power plate, there's actually micro moments of both. So types of power training include boxing, kickboxing, some movements in CrossFit where you've got to swing, like the muscle up, or the wall ball activities, skipping, jumping, powerlifting, running, and any kind of movement where you're using momentum to move the load. So because strength is as much a mental thing as it is a physical thing, powerful movements are often accompanied by powerful feelings, and feelings like pride, strength, euphoria, self-satisfaction. Those are the sorts of feelings that come with power training. And it is, you know, the reason why it's our second favorite thing to do for developing strong, powerful women. So, incorporating some power training into your program will also work wonders for your bone density, and that is a very special thing that women generally need to worry about, as more than twice as many people with osteoporosis are women. So let's have some examples. So the safest way to get into power training is when you're already fit and incorporating it into something you already do. So as I've already said, women's health physio, appropriately qualified health professional, and they should be able to guide you through the stages. If you're already fit and or not fit, if you're already comfortable in one activity and you've been exercising for a long time, then here are some ways you can incorporate power training into what you're already doing. So if you're a runner, you are already power training in an endurance form, but you can develop some of those more strength-based muscles by doing stair sprints. Now, either upstairs, which is the explosive, or downstairs sprints, which is absorbing more impact, are power training, right? Or running with weight on will require more power. Just if you're going to run with weight on and stair sprints and incorporate power training into your jogs might be 30 minutes an hour, but the power training aspects will only be like 1 or 2 minutes, 10 minutes max. They do a lot of muscle damage in a good way, in a way that gets it to knit back stronger, but you've got to sort of wield it with care and ease into it slowly. If you're already lifting weights, this is a nice little trick I like to do with my clients. So you're already lifting weights, say you're doing a shoulder press, okay? To turn a shoulder press into a power training exercise just requires a throw. So you get a bigger weight and you throw it, right? So for a squat, here's another example. So your squat, here's your controlled strength training. If you wanted to turn it into power training, it just goes like this. And it's a really, if you're already doing weights, adding a little bit of power to the movements you're already doing is a good way, again, to ease into adding extra power. And you'll find you can put the weight up a lot sooner too, which is a very nice feeling. If you've never tried, say, boxing before or CrossFit, then do try it, but make sure you have a coach or someone who can teach you proper technique so you don't get hurt. If you've been doing gym classes forever, right, then maybe it's time for you to progress to something like CrossFit or some of the HIIT sessions they have, or the grid sessions they have at Virgin Active. Just something with a little more oomph, where there's some chucking around of weights and some momentum in it. Controlling momentum is one of the fastest ways to get super powerful. In studies done in athletes, if you're looking at power or strength per kilo of body weight, a gymnast will outperform a weightlifter every time. So keep that in mind. And on our quest to be fabulous, strong women, let's start incorporating just little bits of power training into our routine, and maybe a lot of power training if you have a great coach on hand. So don't forget to send me your questions, and I will see you next week.